Khayelihle Khumalo, who is our international desk reporter. He is in Pretoria, and let's cross to him now to find out more about the developments where South Africa's deployed commissioners across the world are gathered, and the heads of mission conference is taking place for the year 2022. Kaya, welcome.
Well, that's right, Sakina. So welcome back to you indeed. So there's quite a lot of issues really to look into. And we do know that when you talk about South Africa's foreign policy, the continent is right at the center. You know that intra-Africa trade is very key in terms of making sure that South Africa is able to boost its economy, but also not to thrive alone, to make sure that the successes are able to filter across the continent. And joining us now is the ambassador who's going to help us to navigate a very critical space between South Africa and Nigeria. These are Africa's two engines. So, Ambassador, thank you so much indeed for your time. Looking at these two giants in the continent, in the context of the continental free trade area, what can we learn from each other in making sure that we do exchange the expertise, but also to make sure that economic integration does become a reality?
Good morning, Khayelihle. Good morning to the Minister, Deputy Ministers, and Excellencies, and also a very good morning to your viewers. Indeed, the relationship between South Africa and Nigeria is very critical in assisting the continent to advance economically and otherwise. And for us to succeed in the integration of the continent, it is imperative that these two countries work very closely with each other. And you would recall, Kaya, that we, as a result of the recognition of this important relationship, we elevated our binational commission to be presided over at the presidential level. And so both our countries are very focused in ensuring that our relationship is strengthened, because we believe that we play in our respective regions a very critical role given the economic size of both countries.
And just once again, Ambassador, looking at the issue of, from time to time, it's not a very easy path. Sometimes it does get a bit frosty how South Africa will interact with Nigeria, where at times we'll see an outbreak of violence in South Africa. How do you try to go beyond that and making sure that we realize the importance of these ties between Abuja and Pretoria?
Kaya, one of the most important interventions that we from time to time embark upon is educating our constituencies about the importance of this relationship. And over and above that, establish mechanisms that assist in not only dealing with the crisis when it arises, but also come up with preventative measures that would ensure that we do not have this phenomenon coming up all the time. And so at an institutional level, we are talking the same language with not only the Nigerians, but also the other African countries that we have a relationship with.
Maybe just, Ambassador, moving to an area where you really focus on, the Hungary, what you have seen, the evacuations of South Africans from, of course, Ukraine. How has that experience been like? Especially because it's rescuing someone from a war-torn part of a conflict, it's quite a very serious undertaking.
For me, one of the most instructive lessons is that when we deal with emergency situations generally, we have to adhere to our basics, ensure that lines of communication are open. I have been interacting with Ambassador Groenewald almost on an hourly basis when he was in Ukraine. And of course, communicating about who is about to cross the borders, have they crossed the borders. In some instances, if we do not have information that they've actually done that, to visit the border crossings and look for our nationals. We did this not only in Hungary, in Poland we did the same thing through Ambassador Mngomezulu.
Ambassador, thank you so much indeed for your time.